So I asked you guys on Twitter and YouTube to ask me questions for our first Q&A. Starting with, when will you cut your hair? Next question. When are you going to lose some weight? Ugh. Oh, sweating. Next question. Glossio Dutra. What's your name? Oh, that's easy.
Babe.
It's... Yes.
Come.
I'm filming.
Babe.
Mr. Coda asks, is Monty a robot dog android? Wait, I think you have the wrong Asian guy. Lord Mendoza, what's a good phone that you've done a drop test on that gave you a slight heart attack as you do it, thinking it will break? Probably Casetify, because they're commonly known as a customization case company, and they released their DTLA case, which was their impact resistant case, and that was kind of interesting to test because I had no idea it was actually as protective as it was. Santi C, do you have a gaming setup? No, I don't play many games, but when I do, it's probably playing Tetris on this. So friend code down below if you want to join. Poke or Poke asks, favorite lube? Well, my favorite goes to this one. PRD.7 asks, who's your favorite creator? One that comes to mind is probably iPhone Do, because he gets really in-depth, like 30-minute video kind of in-depth, and I find him really hilarious, and he's just raw and real. If a product is shit, he'll take a dump on it. Zio or Zio G Unboxing asks, will you do sub for sub? Wait, that's still a thing? Jasper Duke asks, do you have any animals? No. PRD.7 asks again, can I have a iPhone X please? No. Tim Sigler, are you Gandhi? I think we are all a little Gandhi sometimes. Sparsh Gupta, when was the last time you were extremely happy? You know, I had to think about this one for a while, and there's probably been many times after this one situation I'm gonna say, but it was probably after my graduation commencement from industrial engineering. It was a moment of realization that if I could get through engineering school, I could pretty much do anything. So I became a YouTuber. Perry Yee asks, how's life? Well, my family's healthy, I've got an awesome girlfriend, and I make little to no money making videos about phone cases. So I can't complain. Paul Alfaro, what is the best way to burn an iPhone? Your forehead is so big, it should be called a 5-head. Costa's Tech, how old are you, man? Well, physically I'm 26, but psychologically, oh man, like 26 as well. I had a few questions asking what I do for a living and is YouTube your full-time job? Basically, yes, YouTube is my full-time job. The long answer is I quit my job about 2 years ago thinking I'd become this famous blogger, only to realize I hate writing. And to be honest, I just feel unqualified to do anything else now. So I registered this as a business and just do whatever the f I want now. Hashtag Gary V. Christian Kuchler, I'm sorry if I butchered that. Are you a maverick? Does this answer your question? Just kidding. I couldn't get through like a quarter of any of their videos. Raul Medina, would you rock your iPhone without a case for a month? Sometimes I do like to use my iPhone naked just to get this great sense of appreciation for how great the design is, but then I'll drop it and have a mini heart attack and never want to take my case off again. But for a month, probably not, because I make a living with having one on. So I've had several questions about asking where I shoot in, and it's mostly in here. My room's in the attic, so I get quite a bit of space, and my bed's in one half of the room where the real drop tests happen, if you know what I'm saying. Wait, that's not a sexual reference. And then it's my studio in the other half of the room where the real magic happens. Literally, I've got a magic collection. The testing and smelling of cases is done here, usually with the Bristol board on the tabletop here, which is what you see for the most part. It's a fairly simple setup. I've got two soft boxes here. I choose my Bristol board choice of color, which is stored over there. Right now I shoot with the A6500, which I think is overkill, and I use the kit lens, which is the 16-50 for the longest time. It did a great job, but I switched over to this beauty, which is the 16-70, I believe, f4. You probably wouldn't notice the difference if I didn't tell you that though. And I do want to show you guys this thing because it cost me a fortune, but it's like my 90-degree tabletop angle thing. And all it does is go up and down. Money well spent. After several retakes are done, I take it over here to my workstation, dual monitor setup, and I'm a huge advocate of wires, so I do like to leave them hanging around. I know you guys are going to comment on this, but it's basically the poor man's version of Kleenex, which goes well with my washable keyboard, if you know what I mean. Simply put, because I use Windows, I use Premiere. And in terms of editing, it can range from a few hours to a few days. If you see several angles and different sets, you can safely assume the latter. When it comes to my editing style, my main goal for each video is to not waste your time. So I try to make sure that every scene provides some sort of information, whether visual or audible, or the scene provides some sort of entertainment. And everything in between I speed up, which basically explains how I edit every video. Ashwin Locker asks, if a woodchuck could chuck wood, how much would a woodchuck chuck wood? Probably sour cream and onion.
Number 1, what's your favorite case you've ever reviewed? Number 2, what's your favorite coffee drink? And number 3, what's the most annoying sound you can make?
My favorite case to review to date is probably the one I just released, the mouse case, because I got to meet a bunch of YouTubers and have them smash an iPhone X around, which you don't get to do every day. I like my coffee black and from McDonald's because you can collect these stickers, and once you drink 7 of these poorly tasting ones, you get a free one. And free always tastes good. Most annoying sound. Yeah. Jeffrey Hallett asks, do you like phone skins? Yes, but I can never actually use one because they're not case friendly and I'm always switching between cases. Jocelyn Chan asks, oh, hey Jocelyn, what was the worst, most damaging drop test you ever did? It wasn't really a drop test. It was when I had my iPhone 4 and the cops had stopped me for running a red on my bike. I know, super badass. I was leaning over and the iPhone 4 slipped out from chest height and completely shattered on the concrete. It was extra bad because, well, I was stopped by the cops, so double whammy. Christian with a K asks, how much does it hurt to test out all those cases with such expensive flagships? On a scale of 1 to 13, probably like a 7.8. Jack Shia asks, if you had to use any Android phone, what would it be? I haven't used any other phone other than Samsung devices, and out of those, definitely the Note 8. It's a workhorse and it just feels so good to hold. A10 Taptic 3 2321 asks, so what is your favorite smartphone? Honestly, the iPhone 5, or I guess the SE now, it was like the perfect size ergonomically, and I just love the feel of like the brick form factor. Bruce Wayne wants to know Android or iOS. I choose iOS for several reasons. It's not fragmented, iMessage, and it basically always gets first dibs on new apps. Gilovani G asks, have you seen the trailer for Infinity War and how excited are you about the movie? Yes, and over 9,000, but I need to rewatch all the previous ones to get me in the zone. A few of you asked for my opinion on whether you should update your old generation iPhones to the newer generation phones, and my philosophy on updating phones is if it does what you need it to do, just keep it. If it doesn't, give it to your mom and you have a good reason to buy another one. Victor asks, where do you see your channel in 3 years? The ultimate goal is to have my Shopify store up and running, selling actual cases for you guys, but basically, I want to be the guy you think of when you buy a new phone and you think, I need a case, and your first thought is, I need to check out Accessorize Me's channel. Long Live Ezio asks, what made you want to start a YouTube channel to begin with? It's the typical story. I looked for videos that I wanted to watch. I didn't find many that were great. What I did find was a lot of videos just people opening boxes. So I dedicated my channel to never making one of those. except that one I made with the iPhone X, but that's why I said it's the first and last ever, so that explains that video. That's it, guys. Thanks for submitting your questions, and I hope you learned a little bit more about me. Definitely ask more questions down below, and volume 2 of the Q&A will come out shortly, possibly a few months, and maybe next year. But of course, don't forget my new store linked below for accessorizing me merchandise like this hat and the shirt I'm not wearing. But like, subscribe if you want to see more, leave a comment for questions and answers in my next video, and well, I rest my questions and answers.